Hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Vaughn, and I am a CEO and founder of a new growing nonprofit, the Teen and Single Mothers Resource Center. But prior to that position, I grew up in Waukegan. I'm a Waukegan baby. This is no new grounds for me. And I also graduated from the College of Lake County as a returning adult student. If you're a non-traditional student, you're a single mother who's going back to school to make education possible for her and her two kids. And in doing so, I just believe that education creates the foundation for new hope for individuals. I believe in servant leadership, and also too, I just believe that by running in this position, this is not about a title, it's not about anything personal for me. It's more about helping people move forward with the power of education as their fuel to move forward and create a purpose-driven life. I worked for the College of Lake County for 8 years in 2 different roles, as a recruiter and also as an associate dean. So I've established partnership agreements in the community setting with our external partners, making education accessible for non-traditional students, so I know what that's like. I understand their barriers that they go through. And I've also been inside the many hallways of the 19 local high schools that our college recruits at. So I understand what our traditional students are going through in terms of making education possible for them. So right now I'm still serving in the community of Waukegan, and I want to continue to serve in education. I believe I will add a great value in the next 6 years if I am elected as a trustee with the College of Lake County. I'm no stranger. I know the culture, and I'm ready to continue to move forward with the institution. Okay, so I agree with pretty much everyone who's spoken thus far. We are a community college, and community sticks out. The community college is all about creating a community, a culture within the institution. And as a trustee, I just believe that, leadership is influence. And so when we talk about communication, it will be my goal to ensure that we are all creating a transparent culture where staff, students, and faculty and exec staff, that we're operating in transparency. Because oftentimes, everyone communicates but few connect. And so while everyone's trying to communicate their point, what are we really saying? So as a trustee, like Dr. Finger pointed out, it will be my immediate goal is to go through the necessary trainings that I will need to go through so I can understand my communication boundaries. But also too, I want students, staff, and faculty to know that I am an individual who is approachable. I am approachable, meaning that yes, I may serve as one of your trustees, but I'm approachable. And so when I worked at the College of Lake County, I only saw our trustees maybe once in a blue moon, particularly at the graduation. And I rarely saw them even walking in the hallways. For me, and I want to be visible, I want to be approachable within boundary. I don't want staff or faculty to believe that, I'm up here and they're down here in terms of hierarchy. I understand that, but at the end of the day, we are all in this community. And so it will be my goal to support the president, work with our other 6 trustees, and have a listening ear to what is going on in terms of our CLC governance. How does that work? And then our student groups, what are they saying? I'm the trustee that will sit with my laptop inside of the campus and just sit there and do my work. That's who I am. Because I want individuals to understand that while I yet serve you here, I'm right here. That speaks volume without saying anything. Well, first of all, the community is my heart. I love the community. I'm currently involved in the community with nonprofit work, but prior to this position that I currently hold, I was the Associate Dean for Community Education for the College of Lake County. In this position, I was charged and challenged to go out into the external Lake County community and first scan the existing partnerships that the college had partnered with through the Adult Basic Education Department, where we would generate and bring GED and DSL job readiness courses to churches, schools, libraries, other organizations, and even the Lake County Jail. And in doing so, I found that people have needs even outside of the four walls of the classroom. And it really brought awareness to me that the quality of education should not, from CLC faculty should not suffer because we have to go out into the external community and bring education to them. The quality should not be any different in a church basement than it is at the college campus at Lakeshore, Grayslake, or Vernon Hill. So in my position there for 6 years, it was exciting to learn about the various students in the community from different walks of life. Just recently, last week, I was downtown here in Waukegan, across at the Waukegan Library, and I was talking to 3 gentlemen. They were adult gentlemen. One was African American and 2 were Caucasian. And I introduced myself and I asked them if they were registered voters, and I intended to hand them my card. And the African American gentleman, he said, "I don't want your card because I can't read." That resonated to me. The other gentleman said, "Do you help homeless?" That resonated to me. I then began to engage in conversation with him and said, "I do help single moms who are homeless, and I've also helped ex-offenders." When I said that, the other gentleman said, "Well, you can help me." I said, "Well, you can vote for me if you're a registered voter." I mean, well, how do I vote? What is CLC? Where is it at? Literally right across the street. So the community, the College of Lake County, we serve a variety of learners. You mentioned the senior citizens population. It will be my goal as a trustee, first of all, to review the website that the college currently has, and I did most recently, and look at the extension sites that we are currently marketing as partners. And I want to know, why are we partnering with them, and what is the benefit factor, and who is the population that we're serving in that particular partnership. Because currently there are certain partners that are on that website that we are not partnering with actively. It's on paper, it's on the website, it's not active. And so it will be my agenda to ensure that not only are we partner in the external community through contractual agreement, but we are moving through with that partnership. People are benefiting from what we have committed to do. We have high school students. Last year, the CLC produced a report in 2016 in Lake County, close to 10,000 high school graduates in this county, and 1,800 matriculated to CLC. And of the 1,800, 1,100 were taking remedial courses. So that means that their funding is going to be reduced. They can't take a full load because they're not at the college level. They can't enroll in college level courses. So it concerns me with our traditional students, with our non-traditional students, and how are we intentionally marketing towards them. The college is going to have April 4th for an adult basic education student success fair. But with the 3 gentlemen who can't read and is homeless and is ex-offender, do they know anything about it? And so when we talk about adult basic education, I'm not sure that people really understand that there's 2 groups that we're talking about. We're talking about adults who do not have a high school diploma, but we're talking about an adult population who's at the secondary level, which is your high school level, and an illiteracy level. When I was an associate dean, we had a gentleman in our literacy program, and God bless his soul, he's no longer with us, he passed away. But he received a high school diploma in this county, and he graduated not knowing how to read. And he said the reason why the high school allowed me to walk across the stage was because I brought a lot of attention to the football field. That's a problem for me. So the community we're a community college. We have to be in tune with the variety of stakeholders and diversity that's going on in the community. We have to make sure that we understand that everyone should have access to education. Even our senior citizens, there's a tuition waiver that CLC has. I'm not sure that they're even aware of it. So we have to make sure that our marketing is intentional for the audience and not general. And written marketing is not always going to work for people who can't read. So as a trustee, when we talk about community, that's me all day. All right, so in terms of diversity, in terms of my support, I do support diversity, absolutely 100%. I just believe that, you know, when we look back at the mission of the college, and I'm just gonna say a little bit about the CLC mission. It says to advance student success and strengthen the diverse communities we serve. When we say communities, we're talking about the internal community as well as the external community. But we can't go out into the external community until we make sure that the internal community feels included. So what I mean by feeling included, we have a diversity committee at the college, so it will be, I would want to know a little bit more about the diversity committee and some of their initiatives and what are they doing to make sure that people throughout the college is being recognized and we understand who are walking in and out the doors. We also have over 40 student clubs. And when I was an associate dean at the college, of course we're serving students who do not pay tuition and they don't pay the tuition fees. The adult basic education department, those students that we're serving, they did not have a student club. So when we talk about diversity and feeling included and generating a culture that works, so everyone feel like this is a part of my learning community, it was important that I understood why the adult basic education department did not have a student club. So I met with different staff members and administrators and understood the process in terms of if they're not paying tuition and etc. So I took it upon myself to fill out the paperwork and start our first adult basic education student speakers club. It was a club where we recruited GED completers. We brought them back to the institution. We generated an opportunity for them to generate so they can know one another's background and begin to create this community, this diverse community. You know, you're from this town, you're from that town, you're from, but we have all the same journey. And so that we would use this club and we would use it as a retention tool to inspire our existing GED students. And they look forward to meeting once a month in the adult basic education department because they do not have a specific program for them. In addition, when we look at the enrollment data at the College of Lake County, the majority of students that are enrolled at CLC across all 3 campuses are part-time students. They're not full-time students. So when we talk about diversity, we have to make sure that these student clubs are meeting our part-time student hours. So normally it's by tradition. We have offices and student success centers, etc., that are open traditional hours, 9 to 5 p.m. But if the majority of our students are coming at night and the offices are closed, we have to look at that across the campus. We have to look at our services. And we have to look at who are really walking through our doors. They're part-time adult learners across the entire campus. Look at the enrollment head count. And then we have to begin to look at how do we begin to increase our FTE, our full-time enrollment students? How do we begin to recruit them? So diversity is something that I am in full support of from the top down, and to ensure that no one is left out, that we create this internal culture that everyone feels included, and then we step out into the Lake County community. Yes, I definitely would support a nationwide search for our next leader if we have another leader, because I think the leadership is important. I believe that, you know, leadership, we have to be intentional about who we select as the next leader, if there is to be one, that would oversee, that we're talking about this culture of education, this learning community. So I absolutely will be in support of that, as I have been in the past when I worked for the college. I saw the search for 2 different presidents, and so I would definitely continue that because I just believe that leadership is absolutely key to keep our mission moving forward. So yes. Well, you know, I think we all can say this funding. The funding is an issue, you know, the lack of state funding is an issue, and you know, so, but here's the thing, because there's a lack of state funding, or it shouldn't threaten the quality of what we do. in terms of teaching and doing what we love to do. One of the things that really interests me, and it always has, and that's increasing and leveraging resources with partners and generating more funding for scholarships for students who don't qualify for current MAP grants and federal Pell grants, and generating partnerships with private organizations and just individuals who want to give just because we serve a diverse learning community. Not everyone pre-qualifies through FAFSA. In addition, I want to say this: we have other competitors, community college throughout, and one in particular, I was helping a young man. And it was unfortunate that I couldn't convince him to come to CLC when he graduated from Zion-Vinton High School. The reason why I couldn't convince this young man to come to CLC was because he was a student athlete, and his promise was on the football field. And CLC has not expanded their reach in terms of our sports and our sport teams. And so that is another target audience that we really need to hone in on and look at in terms of our traditional students in secondary schools. How can we expand our the sporting activities that we currently offer, because we have a basketball team, a baseball field, volleyball. But in terms of master planning, have we looked at the landscape to see if it at all possible we can build a track and field to generate more student athletes from our local high school so they won't have to go to College of DuPage, and generate a football team? What would that entail? In addition, I would want to know more about partnering possibly with a banking institution. How can CLC partner with a banking institution that would generate additional financial support and introduce our students to financial literacy, whereby a banking institution can have one of their branches inside of our physical building, and that will generate more revenue for the college, and we can use that to offset some of our operating expenses and not use our reserve funding. So this is something that one of our competing schools is already doing. And it makes it easier for students who have to make tuition payments monthly and they do not have a checking account. And so, if we're to partner with a banking institution and say you can just go right here and open your checking account, etc., then that's how we move people forward. So beyond the financial aid office, I'm looking at other things. I'm looking at something new that works for us, and how do we keep people moving forward? So these are two things that concerns me: is expanding our reach for student athletes and working that into the master plan, and what would that look like? And that also increases our FTE, our full-time enrollment students, and bringing more tuition. So, and then also maybe partner with a banking institution, as one of our competing schools is already doing and is working for them. So. I'm just going to try to keep this really brief and simple. I'm coming from my experience working at the College of Lake County, first as a student recruiter. And when we're talking about promote unity, getting students involved, we tend to retain them more when they're involved in an activity. That's absolutely true, because they feel included. But one of the things that was really important for me as a recruiter was to, and I believe one of the candidates mentioned about, the stigma of the College of Lake County having that college of last chance. That stigma with our traditional age high school students. And one of my missions was to make sure that not only did they recognize how awesome CLC was, but when we came to the college, and I would bring them in as groups, as prospective students, it wasn't just a regular hallway tour. It was an exciting moment for them. It was a moment that I took time to make sure that I connected with other departments in-house before I brought them from New Trier or from Stevenson or from North Chicago. Matters not where they came from. I needed them to understand that we should be one of your top choices when you graduate from high school. And how would I do that? So it was important that I engage with our athletic department, which I did because I was concerned about our student athletes. I was a former high school student athlete. And it was important that I engage with our counseling department and our advisors, and even our existing students, because I wanted them to feel the energy that we brought to the college. And we had a very wonderful time with our students. And so when I transitioned from that position to an associate dean, I noticed there was a difference with our adult learners who go to school at night. And there's a different type of feel when you go to school at the College of Lake County when you're walking in the hallways at night, because doors are closed, no more activity. And so it was important that we try to generate that same excitement for our adult learners, because we mentioned the majority of our learners are part-time adult students. And so one of the things that I was able to do was, like I mentioned before, start our own student club, our student speakers club, to make sure that they felt welcomed, and that they had some type of club that they could own for themselves and be a part of the community college. So going beyond annual events, and in support of that, I was a part of the Sister program. I still am, and I support them. And even with our Women's Center, there's so much that they offer. But do our students who are females that go to school at night even know what they offer? Are our resources and our student clubs, are we looking at the 3 campuses, and is it just Grace Lake, or is it shared at Lakeshore? Is it shared in Vernon Hills? So it will be important for me to just really look into what are we really doing at all 3 campuses, coming from my experience and not from me looking outside of the picture. I've been in it, and really assessing what can we do to really increase unity and student involvement, and how can we really retain them and make them feel included, from our day students to our night students to our weekend students. So that's that.